I can't really relate to what most people do all the time anyway, so this to me is a lot more real and a lot more of substance than, you know, where I was just down on the pier and people were drinking and eating and conversing, and I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? I didn't know. You know, I mean, to me, this is like a conversation that I can understand,
yeah,
enjoy.
Right, because you're a seeker. and this is what seekers do. This is what gets seekers off.
Yeah.
You know? And
well,
it's absolutely no different than the people who are sitting down in the bar talking about the NASCAR race on Saturday.
Right.
I mean, for an hour and a half, fascinated with. Well, do you think this guy's gonna win? Well, you know, he's got the turbocharger in the car that is putting out 875 horsepower, but this guy's got the new cam that's stainless steel and I mean hour after hour after hour in which they weigh the relative merits and the details of this versus that, and is this going to happen or is that going to happen, with exactly the same kind of fascination and passion with which you bring to this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. I'm glad they enjoy what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, the only difference is that they don't go home and go, we are such hot shit because we have NASCAR. And they don't. And seekers have a tendency to think, well, I'm like this close to enlightenment. And I might even already be there. I just don't know it yet. Or I'm stabilizing in it. And, I think we're all in it, actually, but I think I've stabilized in it.
Just a more refined materialist sort of quest, right?
But I don't, you see, here's the thing. I was joking about it, but I don't diminish it.
Right.
To me, this is for seekers, and this is a arena for seekers. This is meaningful. This is significant.
Sure.
This is life affirming.
Mm-hmm.
It is significant and really important.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't diminish that
mm-hmm.
in any way, and say, well, it's all spiritual materialism, and blah blah blah. It may well be spiritual materialism, but this spiritual materialism is happening.
Yeah.
The spiritual materialism is happening as part of the functioning of the whole goddamn universe.
Yeah.
And it has significance. It has power. It has meaning in the moment within the context of Michael's story.
Mm-hmm.
And to deny that is just sucky, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't do it.
Right. Well, there is a relationship here. It's not just spiritual materialism as a product. We have a relationship. I mean, we've breathed the same air and we've exchanged ideas, but the ideas don't mean much. They're just words.
Yeah, but we're breathing the same air as the people on the pier and the people, in China.
Well, I don't know what it is exactly, but I will attribute some value to it because
it's your value structure.
Well, it's because it's my value structure, but it's the way I think of healthcare. Like, if I'm working with these families who are suffering with sick children,
yeah,
I really can't do anything to change it, but I can be involved in their lives in a way that...
What do you mean you can't do anything to change it?
Well, I can't fix their kids, and I can't tell them...
You might not be able to do a specific thing, But what you were doing is I mean, changing their reality, changing their environment, changing their emotional and spiritual
that's
condition.
What I mean. Yeah.
And
that's what I mean.
Perhaps either physical condition by your doing.
In other words, that's what I mean by a relationship, rather than a product. I'm not. It's like, I'm not giving them something that they can then take and make their lives better. I mean, it's a relationship that was offered in the process.
We can quantify that. We can. I mean, well, that's what we do. We say that you have given them something.
Mm-hmm.
You ask them, why do you talk to this guy? Well, because when I do so, I feel better. I feel like they've gotten something that they can.
But it's because I understand what they're going through.
Oh, I understand.
I
know what the mechanics are. I'm just bringing us back to acknowledge how this whole thing works a little more.
Right.
From the bigger perspective, and not to diminish it, but to see how it is truly wondrous in its connection to things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to. I have to pull the rug out a little bit under our own arrogance about what we do.
Sure.
You know,
I have no problem with that.
in order to see that it is really part of a bigger functioning, not inherently different structurally than the guy who went in and shot his professor at UCLA because he, felt that he was fucking him over. And, in his he got an idea and he proceeded on it and murdered somebody. That we are conditioned by our experiences, by our body chemistry, by our genetics, by all of these things going on to function in a certain way. And it's glorious in its complexity. It's glorious in how varied it all is.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, I'm going to shut it down for tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Matt, very much.
Very well.